Mike Epps just said something about men getting celebrated for coming out of prison, and it's causing major backlash. But what he really meant might change the way you think about success in the Black community. Stay tuned. Recently, Mike Epps appeared on a podcast and sparked controversy with his comments about the way society celebrates men who are released from prison. He argued that the journey of incarceration shouldn't be glorified. According to him, walking out of prison after decades doesn't earn you medals or fanfare. It's not a reward. Instead, he suggested that true fulfillment comes from using your second chance to give back to the community and uplift the younger generation. That, he said, is the real measure of success. Unsurprisingly, his remarks didn't sit well with some in the Black community. Many felt he was dismissing the struggles and achievements of those re-entering society. One notable reaction came from rapper Blueface. In response, the argument was made that criticizing people for celebrating progress after incarceration is similar to telling performers they shouldn't be applauded for their talent, but should instead pursue a more traditional path like education or conventional careers. Epps' perspective was met with further scrutiny because of the sensitive nature of people's personal journeys. While he highlighted the importance of accountability and giving back, some argued that it's not anyone's place to judge someone else's lifestyle choices. Those who return from prison with integrity and a commitment to doing right should be acknowledged and supported, many said, regardless of the past. Blueface, having recently served time for a shooting incident in Las Vegas, became a focal point in this discussion. His story underscores a broader truth. People are capable of change. Not everyone who leaves prison is the same person they were before. Growth, reflection, and the desire to improve one's life are real possibilities. Many ex-inmates do return to society with a renewed focus, aiming to create positive change for themselves and others. Examples abound. Take Guylian Wallow, who spent 2 decades behind bars and emerged to build one of the most successful hip-hop podcasts, achieving financial and creative success. Stories like these highlight that redemption isn't just a concept. It's a lived reality for many, demonstrating that the potential for transformation is always present. When Mike Epps caught wind of the backlash, he decided to speak up and clarify his message. "Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Mike Epps," he began. He explained that his comments about celebrating people returning from prison were being misunderstood. His main point, he said, was about the message being sent to younger generations. While he's always supported prison reform and personally helps friends and family reintegrate after long sentences, he didn't want kids thinking that spending decades behind bars is something to aspire to or glamorize. Epps acknowledged that he may have worded things poorly, but his intentions were sincere. He emphasized that he's experienced incarceration himself and has a deep respect for those coming home. "I love my brothers. Free my brothers coming home. My man Derek, free all the guys that are coming home," he said. His goal, he insisted, was never to diminish anyone's return or achievement, but to prevent sending mixed messages about prison life to impressionable youth. Beyond his specific comments, there's a broader context at play. Many Black men recognize the tension Epps was pointing to. On one hand, society celebrates some for returning from prison. On the other hand, intelligent, educated Black men often face criticism or disregard, even when doing positive things. This imbalance reflects a deeper cultural challenge. The same principle, Epps hinted, extends to women's perceptions shaped by systemic biases, where admiration or attraction can vanish once someone is seen as fully human, fully capable, and fully aware. Epps' underlying point seems to be that society tends to over-celebrate certain negative milestones, like incarceration, while under-celebrating positive achievements in the Black community. He recalled his own college graduation at Sacramento State University in 2007, which, while meaningful, didn't generate the same excitement as some of his peers' returns from prison. Even with family and church celebrations, the public enthusiasm for graduation didn't match the online euphoria he witnessed for former inmates. Facebook posts shouting support, "Free my N-word," for someone leaving prison were, in his view, disproportionately louder than accolades for educational accomplishments. In essence, Epps wasn't condemning those celebrating people coming home. Rather, he was highlighting the inconsistent ways society values milestones and challenging us to rethink what we celebrate and why. In the Black community, there's a long-standing pattern that dates back decades, from the 1970s and 80s onward, of celebrating the wrong milestones. Too often, someone who has made mistakes or spent time in prison is elevated, while those who quietly pursue education and personal growth are overlooked or even criticized. Success outside the streets can sometimes be seen as turning away from the community, even when it's a positive move towards self-improvement and prosperity. Meanwhile, those with street credibility, former gangsters, hustlers, or people with a checkered past, are often the ones who receive genuine recognition for giving back. If a reformed ex-gang member starts mentoring youth, teaching kids to avoid the mistakes they made, the community celebrates them. Their lived experience carries weight. They can relate to the struggles others face in a way that someone without that history cannot. In contrast, individuals who grew up in the same neighborhoods but didn't live that life, like those who focus on education or professional development, often don't receive the same acknowledgement, no matter their accomplishments. Epps, having built a career from comedy to film, has a unique perspective on this cultural dynamic. He works with a circle of highly intelligent, strategic professionals, accountants, lawyers, and collaborators who have the skills and reasoning to help elevate his career. While ex-inmates may possess talent, the infrastructure, preparation, and cognitive resources required to reach certain professional heights aren't always present. What Epps observes, then, is a broader cultural pattern. The Black community sometimes elevates spectacle or buffoonery, while under-recognizing disciplined, strategic, and talented individuals. This tension explains reactions from people like Blueface, who recently served time and is navigating a second chance. He understandably feels he deserves celebration. After all, he paid his dues and is trying to move forward. From his perspective, it's unfair to be criticized for wanting recognition after serving time. Yet, as Epps points out, the people who consistently make the right choices from the start often go unnoticed. Those who pursue education, work diligently, and contribute meaningfully without ever falling into the mistakes of the streets rarely get the same fanfare, despite their long-term impact and achievements. Epps' critique isn't about condemning anyone's journey. It's about the community's misplaced emphasis and the need to celebrate success that builds, uplifts, and inspires, not just the survival stories of past mistakes. He highlights that going to college, excelling academically, or pursuing professional growth should be honored just as much, if not more, than the notoriety that sometimes surrounds those with a troubled past. We're not just talking about showing up to class here. College, especially in rigorous fields like the sciences, demands a level of discipline and commitment that few truly grasp. This isn't just a few late nights here and there. It's an all-consuming, relentless lifestyle that requires a complete recalibration of how you spend your time, how you think, and even how you see yourself. Imagine nights that stretch into early mornings, buried in textbooks and problem sets, wrestling with the abstract complexities of organic chemistry, physics, or biochemistry. You're not merely memorizing formulas. You're learning to think critically, to apply logic, and to solve problems that often feel unsolvable. Every lecture, every lab, every homework assignment becomes a puzzle that tests both intellect and endurance. And then there's calculus. Calculus one day, pre-calculus the next, trigonometry following that. Exams are often stacked back-to-back, leaving you mentally drained but compelled to perform. Physics one day, organic chemistry the next, and math exams scattered throughout the week. These are not just challenges of intellect, they are challenges of stamina, focus, and sheer persistence. Anyone who has gone through this process knows that the mental toll is real. It's not something that can be learned overnight or substituted with shortcuts. It demands long-term dedication, consistent effort, and an almost surgical approach to time management. But good grades alone aren't enough. That's just the first step in a multi-layered process. To truly advance, students have to think strategically about the bigger picture. Grad school applications, letters of recommendation, community service, and competitive credentials all become critical components. Each of these requires careful planning and execution. A single weak letter or missed volunteer opportunity can drastically alter your trajectory. The process is cumulative, and it often feels like you are juggling 10 different responsibilities at once while being expected to maintain flawless performance in all of them. And if professional school isn't immediately on the horizon, the grind doesn't stop. You still need meaningful internships, practical, hands-on experience that actually opens doors. In my time, companies like Genentech were actively recruiting from universities like Sacramento State. If you didn't secure an internship by your sophomore or junior year, your chances of landing a role that could propel your career forward were slim. These internships are not just resume fillers. They are essential real-world experience that teaches you skills no classroom ever could. Networking, understanding workplace dynamics, applying theoretical knowledge to tangible problems, all of this becomes a part of your education outside the lecture hall. Even beyond internships, success in these fields demands balancing an array of extracurriculars, volunteer work, and community engagement. The modern professional is expected to be well-rounded, socially conscious, and able to operate in multiple spheres at once. You're not only competing academically, but also socially and professionally. Every component, academic performance, practical experience, and social engagement, is a stepping stone toward advancement. Success, therefore, is never the result of raw talent alone. It requires endurance, strategy, focus, and an unwavering commitment to long-term goals. Few people outside of this world can truly comprehend the level of discipline and sacrifice necessary to advance academically and professionally. And yet, even with this monumental effort, recognition is not guaranteed. In many communities, including the Black community, there is often a disconnect between the achievements that deserve celebration and the attention that is actually given. The hard-earned victories of students and professionals often go unnoticed, while other forms of recognition are disproportionately celebrated. This is not a trivial point. It has real cultural and psychological implications. When someone dedicates years to academic achievement, career development, and personal growth, only to see those sacrifices overshadowed by the glorification of individuals who have taken less constructive paths, it can foster frustration, disillusionment, and a sense of alienation. Consider the degenerate side of the community. The Pookies, the Ray Rays, and others who navigate life in ways that, while sometimes thrilling or attention-grabbing, may contribute little of lasting value. These individuals can receive widespread attention, respect, and celebration, even though their choices often jeopardize their futures. Social media amplifies this phenomenon, turning momentary notoriety into public recognition. A single post celebrating a flashy or reckless lifestyle can garner thousands of likes and shares, creating the illusion of success. Meanwhile, the student who just aced a sequence of grueling exams, or the young professional who just completed a high-stakes internship, might receive barely a nod of acknowledgement from the same network. This dynamic creates a tension within the community. Young people, observing who gets celebrated and who doesn't, can develop skewed perceptions of what it means to succeed. When dedication, education, and hard work go largely unrecognized and recklessness or notoriety is amplified, it sends mixed messages. It subtly reinforces the idea that flashy shortcuts and high-risk behaviors are more socially valuable than the patient accumulation of knowledge, skill, and integrity. Over time, this can distort values, aspirations, and priorities. The consequences extend far beyond individual recognition. They influence culture, social mobility, and community development. Those who consistently work hard but remain uncelebrated may become disillusioned, seeking validation outside their immediate community. Some may adopt ideologies, lifestyles, or relationships that distance them from their roots, not out of rejection, but out of frustration with a system that seems to reward spectacle over substance. This is part of what drives some Black individuals toward alternative social or political affiliations, interracial relationships, or other paths that appear to offer the recognition and respect that was denied at home. Meanwhile, those coming out of incarceration or other high-risk situations may be celebrated because of the novelty, perceived authenticity, or dramatic nature of their journey. The community often rallies behind narratives of survival and redemption, which are indeed worthy of support, but the imbalance lies in the scale of attention relative to consistent, constructive effort. A student excelling in biochemistry, volunteering in the community, and securing competitive internships may quietly move the world forward, yet remain invisible in comparison to someone whose public visibility is fueled by notoriety or missteps. The irony is striking. Communities often elevate stories that require minimal investment or constructive contribution, while underappreciating those that reflect sustained effort, intelligence, and resilience. This cultural imbalance is not just unfair, it is counterproductive. It risks sending the wrong message to the next generation about what constitutes real achievement. Children growing up in these environments see who is celebrated and who is ignored, and they internalize those cues consciously or unconsciously. Ultimately, this is the reality. The effort, discipline, and sacrifice required to succeed academically or professionally often go unnoticed, while those navigating riskier, less constructive paths receive more visibility and celebration. The stakes are real, the consequences profound, and the cultural patterns deeply ingrained. Addressing this imbalance is not merely about shifting attention, it's about reshaping values, encouraging genuine achievement, and ensuring that hard work and dedication are recognized and celebrated in meaningful ways. In the end, success is about more than talent. It's about endurance, vision, and strategic investment in oneself. It's about balancing the relentless demands of rigorous academic work with the practical necessities of professional development. It's about navigating societal recognition that may not always align with merit. And it's about finding the strength to persevere even when the world seems to reward the flashy and overlook the disciplined. Understanding these dynamics is crucial, not just for individuals seeking to succeed, but for communities striving to cultivate values that truly uplift, empower, and inspire. This imbalance has long-term consequences that go far beyond individual frustration. When hard work, dedication, and achievement consistently go unnoticed, while reckless behavior or flashy notoriety is glorified, it sends a clear message about what the community values. Many Black individuals, observing this pattern over time, can feel increasingly alienated. The recognition they seek for accomplishments achieved through discipline, intelligence, and persistence may never arrive, and that lack of acknowledgement can shape the trajectory of their choices, their relationships, and even their worldview. Some respond by distancing themselves from the community altogether. This isn't always an intentional rejection of Black culture. It can stem from a very human desire for validation, respect, and recognition. In some cases, individuals who feel uncelebrated or overlooked gravitate towards spaces where their efforts are recognized and rewarded. Some become Black conservatives, drawn to ideologies that promise merit-based acknowledgement. Others pursue interracial relationships or integrate into environments where success and accomplishment are more consistently recognized. Over time, this can create a subtle yet powerful sense of disillusionment with Black America, leaving a void in the community where talent and achievement should be nurtured and celebrated. This dynamic is precisely what Mike Epps was alluding to in his podcast comments. He wasn't simply critiquing individual choices or disparaging people returning from incarceration. He was highlighting a broader cultural problem. When communities consistently celebrate notoriety or survival in high-risk environments more than perseverance, intelligence, and constructive achievement, the incentives become misaligned. The young people observing these patterns internalize the lesson that short-term spectacle and immediate visibility can outweigh sustained effort, skill building, and long-term contributions. And that message is both harmful and demoralizing, particularly for those striving to break cycles of disadvantage and create upward mobility for themselves and others. Importantly, Epps took the time to apologize for any offense his words may have caused, acknowledging that they could be misunderstood or hurtful. Yet, it's crucial to note that his apology was not for the substance of his observations. He wasn't retracting the underlying truth he was trying to convey. The misalignment between recognition and effort, the skewed celebration of behaviors that do not contribute positively to the community, and the underappreciation of disciplined achievement are real phenomena. They exist regardless of whether we openly acknowledge them or choose to confront them. And this is precisely why his commentary resonated with some, while simultaneously provoking defensiveness in others. It strikes at a systemic tension that is often left unspoken. Recognition and celebration are powerful tools. They shape cultural values, inform social priorities, and signal to the next generation what is truly valued. When misaligned, they can distort aspirations and reward the wrong behaviors. When aligned with effort, integrity, and meaningful contribution, they can reinforce positive behaviors and help build stronger, more resilient communities. Epps' message, at its core, encourages a recalibration of these values. It is a call to examine what and who we celebrate and why. It asks the community to ensure that those who exemplify discipline, intelligence, perseverance, and constructive achievement receive the recognition they deserve. Ultimately, this conversation goes beyond Mike Epps, beyond celebrity commentary, and beyond the surface-level debate about prison or fame. It touches on the heart of cultural priorities, social reinforcement, and the cultivation of role models. By reflecting critically on who we elevate and why, the community has the opportunity to shift narratives, inspire younger generations, and create a culture that genuinely rewards achievement in all its forms. What do you think? This is a discussion that goes far deeper than it may appear at first glance. Recognition, celebration, and cultural reinforcement matter. They shape both individual futures and the collective direction of the community. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for more insights. Until next time, we're out.